Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Janine McGowan, and this is my channel about cross stitch. I also design cross stitch patterns as the blue flower, so it is lovely to see you today. We have a beautiful, chilly spring morning here in northern Nevada. I think we all got a little excited with some unusually warm temperatures, and now it's back to reality. It's not summer or even spring yet, but it's a lovely day. Jumping right into Stitching in Action, Trudy has submitted Spring Forest Scrapbook, one of the blocks, and this is one that I designed, the little bear in the hammock, which is one of my favorites. She's done it 1/1 on 28 count Monaco glass blue, and it looks lovely. You can see from her fingers the scale of it. It's only 60 by 60, so 1/1 would be this big. Anyway. Excellent work, Trudy. She also gave us a tip that she used blanket weight yarn for the trim on this one, which is a really great idea. So, as always, if you have stitched a blue flower design and you want to share that, let me know. You can send me a message and I can talk about it in Flosstube and put it up on the website so other people can be inspired. All right, on to what I'm stitching. Finally got some personal stitching, which means the Pilsner Memorial Sampler has come back out. Also known as Marianne Mitton from Merry Wind Farm. As always, it's a little bit hard to photograph because it is so giant, but you can see I've started on the lettering up top. I got the sort of grapes motif done. Obviously, I've been drunk with power, as per usual. The original is all in shades of pinks and warm browns, and I've just gone completely all over the place. But I'm really enjoying this stitch, and I can't wait to finish it up and have Pilsner's Memorial Sampler up on the wall. All right, stash spotlight for this week is the Brown Cow Sampler Bag and Pinkeep from Stacy Nash Primitives. I'm gonna see if I can get a better picture of that cow. Get the lighting there. I love the cow. I love the way he's just staring at the little flower. Like, is he surprised by a spring flower? Does he want to eat the spring flower? And again, it's a little bit hard to see, but there's this great little heart bowl Pinkeep there, which is a wonderful, quickie little thing to stitch up. So someday, and maybe it'll go on my wall of animals and birds and butterflies and all of that, the natural history display that's going to happen in the stairs one of these days when my dreams actually get stitched. Isn't that the way, though? All these big plans and not enough time to stitch them up. This is a great little chart, not very big. It's only, what, 165 by 40? And you wouldn't even have to do the Pinkeep or the bag if you didn't want to. You could just make an adorable little cow pillow or an adorable little cow in a frame. So there's that one. All right, on to the world around. This week it is the lilac, the common lilac, which is, as many of you know, my favorite flower. Always has been. We used to have, at one of the houses I lived in when I was younger, these enormous lilac bushes, and you could go out and just gather armfuls of lilacs and shove them in a vase, and it'd just be this huge arrangement. And I didn't realize that wasn't normal. Most places I've lived since then, lilacs don't grow like weeds, but they definitely did there. And in fact, I've had my fingerprints taken for several jobs. I'm still missing in my little pinky finger part of my fingerprint because I was trying to clutch a huge armful of blossoms and snip behind and cut a little bit of my finger. But it's worth it because they are my favorites. Now, we do have some here in the yard. The one shrub that was here from the original owner, and it is just starting to bud out, not bloom yet, but bud out. And so maybe by the next Flosstube, those will be flowering. Also, now that we have a fence, I've ordered a couple of lilac bushes to put safely behind the fence where they won't be interfered with. Rye massacred the one lilac in our yard when she was a puppy and set it back a couple years because she wanted to chew on all of its branches. And so I hadn't put any more in until she was over that, which she seems to be, but also we have the fence so I can keep them safe from her. I did look up lilacs and learn a few things about them. They are not native to the US. They came from southeastern Europe originally, but obviously are hugely popular and deservedly so because they're wonderful. In Russian tradition, Holding lilac sprigs over a newborn baby is meant to shower the baby with wisdom, or at least a lovely fragrance. So there's that. Also, lilacs are very long-lived. The shrubs can live to be over 100, and apparently they're called sometimes the homestead plant, because if you're out driving and you see just a random clump of lilacs, it can often mean that there was a home, a building there initially, and the lilac has outlived the old wooden building and just remains. So that's pretty cool. A lot of things in this country are not that old, so 100 years for us is quite a big deal. All right, question for you then, naturally, is what is your favorite spring flower? I'd love to hear from you. What really sets it for you? The lilacs obviously are not the earliest, but they always have a special place for me. What has a special place for you where you live? Best thing this week. All right. Featured in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, the spring 2022 issue, is the first in a series of venery, or collective nouns, which have always interested me. Pardon me. This is a wisdom of wombats, and I first became interested particularly when I built a show in college. I built sets for a show called A Murder of Crows, which is one of the first collective nouns I ever learned. I don't know if I'll do that one, but there's a whole series, as I said, in Punch Needle this year, so we've got 4 designs. It's an interesting thing because Liz Matthews and Kathy Barrick also did some collective noun designs for this past market, and we joked that it was so funny that we had picked some of the same animals to do, obviously without talking about it at all, and yet you can definitely tell our designs are totally different, as is the way. So that's always interesting to me too, to see how even given a very specific topic, we'll all come up with something completely different. So again, Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I tried for the first time lacing it over a piece of mat board and then putting it on this lovely felt from Weeks Dye Works, and then just a piece of mat board in the back to support it. But it was fun to do this finish. I'm looking forward to sharing the other 3 with you. And there's that final look, a wisdom of wombats already. So I hope you enjoy it. Last week, the giveaway, lovely thread pack from Gentle Arts, the spring picnic thread pack. Got lots of good picnic comments. And the winner of this one is Maggie with an I. So Maggie, get in touch, give me a message. I always enjoy your comments, so I look forward to sharing this with you. This week, the giveaway is a copy of a book called Embroidered Stories. Take out my little sticky note there. I actually got 2 copies of this somehow in the midst of moving all my books between various places. So it's a fun book. It's not very big, you can see, but it has lots of lovely pictures. And I wanted to call out specifically one that I enjoy, which right now has lovely spring colors. It probably didn't initially, but I love the verse. I'll take a minute and read that. Teach me to feel another's woe, to hide the fault I see. That mercy I to others show, that mercy show to me. And I think that's such a good sentiment in so many ways. Obviously, the idea of feeling another's woe, to really practice empathy and radical listening to people to understand their experience and how it differs from yours, and to really empathize with them in a way that's helpful for both of you. But also the idea of showing mercy, not just to others and having it shown to you, but I think a lot of times we need to practice showing mercy to ourselves. Things that we would be much more understanding of in other people, we can be very hard on ourselves with. And certainly vice versa. There are things oh, that's no big deal when I do it, but when someone else does, sometimes I get a little snitty, and I have to remind myself to keep to the same standard for everyone. So there again, you can see the beautiful sampler. I love the animals at the bottom, the griffin, I think it's called, and a lion. Lovely flower motifs, beautiful up here. They almost look like flags to me. And of course the great building, it being a Scottish sampler, that's totally typical. So, wonderful book. If you would like to win this, give me a comment with the word story in it, because these are embroidered or cross-stitched stories that we share with the future and with our future selves. And yeah, pop that in. I'd love to hear from you. All right, this is a bit of a quick video, not super long. We have a slightly longer puppy video this week. Some of you may notice that Mosaic has a bandage on her foot. Not to worry. She was running in the yard and she managed to catch her side claw in the grass and just break it. So because it's technically exposed bone until it heals up, they want to keep it officially clean and clear of infection. So she's doing great and she should get her bandage off on Monday, but she's been romping around at one point with a pink bandage on top of it. She always looked at me like she was about to jazzercise. But anyway, it's been fun to watch her becoming more of an outgoing puppy and really exploring her playful side. So many of the play behaviors that Rye did when she was younger, I think Mosaic may be doing for possibly the first time or the first time in this setting. So fun to see. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate the opportunity to spend time with you. I hope you have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing. And please do get in touch. Let me know your favorite spring flower and any story comments that you'd like to share. And I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.